Hey everybody, Texas Stroker here, Lance's Performance Shop, Lone Star Mopars. This is going to be as quick as I can make it, sort of a tool haul, if you will, from KC Tool, where this all started, and it's going to continue for quite some time. Planning a very big screwdriver showdown, but I was in the market for some screwdrivers, and of course, you know, Klein, that's kind of what I'm accustomed to at work. I felt like their number 2 Phillips, which of course, what you use the most frequently, I felt like it had kind of gone downhill, and so I was thinking, hey, you know, it'd be cool to get some aesthetically pleasing ones, right? And one thing led to another. I wound up looking at some Wiha screwdrivers, and in the process, it became, hey, where do I buy these? And of course, they actually have Wiha USA. They're based in Germany. One thing leads to another. Next thing I know, I find KC Tool, and then of course, anytime it is a business that you've never dealt with, they came up, and then Chad's Toolbox. No experience with either one of them, and of course they had really good prices, and I'm kind of wanting to cross-reference, sort of see what I can find out. Turns out there were a lot of people that seemed to do business with them. They seemed pretty reputable, and I went ahead and pulled the trigger. So this has been waiting for about a month now. And without further ado, let's try to get into it. So, it kind of fits nicely there, actually. I'm surprised. Cleaned this off a little bit. Let's just jump right into it. First thing I picked up is this, and I'll tell you right now, I'm in the South, I'm in Texas. I don't speak German. It was not an option. You spoke, in high school, it was Spanish or French. And there, I'm sure, is a correct way to say this, just like it's Porsche. You know, to me, growing up, it was always a Porsche. And sometimes I actually use both pronunciations, kind of depends around the crowd I'm in. But I believe this is Gedore, and Gedore, whatever you want to call it. All I know is I was sold on something they had, which we'll get to at the bottom of this box. And while I was cruising around, this is something that I came across, and I actually really liked it. Primarily for aesthetic reasons, also because it was, I believe, $6. So, I'm thinking that would help you find it. 2982, 882, GMH 9900, unknown 2 type of a thing. But this, it looks, I know, it's July, I'm sweating bullets right now, June I should say, sweating like it's July. This is built so well, and it's so comfortable. This is not a time that I would need it anytime soon, but come December, January, February, I'm going to use this thing. I plan to put this in the Challenger, the Mopar 10. It's not quite the blue. It's sort of more of a petty blue than like a royal blue, but it just looked cool. It was priced right, and I thought, man, I kind of want to see what this is all about. I can't explain it. I've had 2 really good ice scrapers in my life from time to time. We do get pretty bad ice here. Lots of snow, sometimes ice, but do have to use scrapers, and I do like this one. It's comfortable, and this, I believe the best one I ever had was this like super hardy Everbuilt one, and I'd never been able to find another one like it. Every year when I go in and I think, man, I ought to pick something up, I've been disappointed. The thing I've currently got in the truck, it's really long reach in part, so I can get across the windshield. It has a brush with it too. But this, I think, is going to be nice for the car. I'll put it in the toolbox in the back. And I can't tell you, it's so thin you wouldn't think, but just feeling it, you can tell it's going to be strong in quality. Very excited about that. Up next, I think when we looked at the channel locks, I mentioned I had these on the way. Once again, Knipex, whatever you want to call it, they make pretty awesome pliers. They're sort of the channel lock of Germany, if you will. These are some small Cobras. I got the comfort grip on them in sort of the red and blue. Their standard would sort of be more of like a textured red, sort of akin to the classic channel lock, but with a texture, kind of like the old Craftsman pliers. This is pretty much verbatim what you have with the channel locks. Their grip lock version, a lot of people copying this design now. It's not tongue and groove, this is actually button actuated. And picked these up with one particular application in mind. They also are pretty cool because they sort of look like a toucan, or something along those lines. The other thing I want to hit on real briefly is I like that this doesn't fling all the way up. That's going to keep it compact as long as you have this in place, which in my case is going to be underneath a car. I'm working on some suspension and fuel system stuff. This is actually going to come in handy because I will be closer to making contact with what I'm wanting to grab. So there they are. This will be sort of my first feel out for Cobras, and from there we might add additional products. So up next, let's just get right into this. These look awesome. These are from NWS. The part number I guess is N109-49205. They are 8-inch combination pliers, and these have what they call the matte chromium finish, and they are also equipped with soft grip. So this, I don't know, man, this just looks like it's out of some German sci-fi movie. And they looked really cool, they were priced really well, and I was interested in seeing how they perform. So obviously we're going to be able to grip, we're going to be able to cut, and it's going to be a conversation piece if anyone sees it. Sent a picture to my friend when they came in, and she was like, oh my, those look nice. And they are pretty nice. So they don't have the full span that you might be accustomed to, like if you're used to a slip joint plier, but looks like we can ream with these possibly on the outside. We've got a very nice gripping surface. This sort of designed for like nuts and bolts if you're in a bind. I can't tell you, obviously, effectively through a video what this feels like. I love it. It might be the most comfortable comfort grip I've ever had. There's also tethers here. Now, if you know me well, you would know this is not technically my color scheme. I would never spec anything red and silver, but I like it. I like the way it looks, and we will leave it at that. It just looks futuristic. I'm excited to see how these hold up. Again, they're priced pretty well. They look awesome. I'm also, if I like these, I'm going to bring in another pair, this really funky offset one that I think will come in handy. And it has another finish that's a little cheaper called the Titan finish. It's kind of like a black phosphate, but this will be my first experience with NWS stuff. If you want to see any of this in detail, more detail, or I guess know what I think of it long term, I can make that happen as well. Alright, this right here I am extremely excited about, way more excited than I should be. This is once again from Gedore, and this is the 8730. This is kind of like a 3-part deal though, and this handle is extremely popular, so it sort of leads to problems. I love the feel of this thing in my hand. Obviously it's a deburring tool, but wait, there's more. Let's actually just put everything away. I'm trying not to cut myself. We'll do it this way. So this is the handle, right? This is amazing. You can use this thing with this bit holder right here, and then you can use it with standard bits, and you basically got like a makeshift on-the-go screwdriver. It feels really, really good. I guess their part number is 676. I want to say this thing, it's actually stamped too. I really like this company. This is their 699, as you can see there, possibly, probably not. But it is all stamped. It does say Germany. Just take my word for it. And then the way they did this is not like a, you know, at work I typically use a B20, right? This is not set up to where you can just swap that out. This is actually like a hex bit. This is a 1/4-inch bit that has the deburring tool. Now you can pick these up, replacements, which I believe I ordered one. They're around $8 or $9. However, if you go through Cheviv or Vargas, you can actually get like a 4-pack for way cheaper than that. I'm going to do that. We'll probably make a standalone video on that not too far down the line. Also something I picked up just in part because it was so cheap. It's this Wiha Magnetizer demagnetizer. Now I've got the Klein one. This one I liked because it's obviously not as compact. You're not going to want to throw it in a portable tool bag or something. You could because it's lightweight, but the Klein one kind of with the key ring sort of takes that cake. This one, you've just got such a big opening. I was pretty excited about that. And this is actually assembled in the USA. A lot of their stuff is German components and then assembled in the USA. So, plus it's sort of got like that vintage 50s, 60s soft turquoise seafoam green color going on, which I thought was kind of cool. Up next, let's go ahead and come in right here. I was trying to get a feel for all of the different handles, right? And this was my way of sort of jumping into Wiha. Don't worry, we will be doing more of that. This is actually a scraper. It came with a handle, and it came with a pack of blades. So the blades are actually American, and then this is, I believe, Germany. So the way it works, you just kind of, you know, unfurl it, sort of like the chuck on a drill. You put it in, and it's basically just a really, really nice scraper. Pretty comfortable handle. We'll get into that later. And I don't believe that was priced too terribly bad either. What we'll do now, I can't even remember what I had here. What did I get? Oh, yeah. Okay. It's their stand. That's why I forgot about it. Now, most people are going to pick up the Vera screwdrivers. Again, Vera, you know, take it how you will. This is the stand that comes with most of their sets. It'll work great with pegboard. You can mount it to a stud, whatever you need to do. Cool thing is, it doesn't just work with their screwdrivers. Obviously, any set, anything you want hung, you can do it. And the price on it is $2.30 or something, which I thought was crazy. Bonus though, if you get a bunch of these and then you break screwdrivers or you move things around, you can actually flip this and it stands up, and this will hold their precision screwdrivers. This might be a situation where theirs would fit better than others, but anything with a similar profile ought to be good. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, so 6 slots there, and 7 slots here. So take your pick. It's a pretty sweet deal, and the price is fantastic. So we'll set that aside. Again, it's been so long I kind of forgot I even had that. But coming in next, we've got this bag of bits right here. We got some screwdriver action. We'll start with this one. I believe, again, Felo would be how you and I would probably want to pronounce it, but we'll run with Felo because I believe that is correct. This is from their ergonomic series. It's super, super comfortable. The tip on this, I don't know that I can do it justice. It is the most impressive tip I had ever seen in all my little life. And maybe we'll do a standalone on this coming up. Trust me, it is impressive. It looks freshly machined. You can see the lines in it. You can feel the lines in it. It's not advertised as anti-cam out or anything. It's just super well done. It's a 4-inch. You know, take it however you want to do, metric, or we'll go SAE. So 4-inch. It's got the hex bolster there. You can hang it. The only downside, I thought this was so cool, I kind of used it around the house. I noticed it sort of is like, I guess, static. It seems to just draw everything around it to it. But the tip on that, man, I wish this camera would focus a little bit for you because it is a thing to see. In fact, I'm not going to give up. It's just so good. You'll just have to take my word for it. I'm super impressed by that thing. Something else I was really impressed by is right here. This is another Phillips number 2 by 100 millimeters, or roughly 4 inches, which they stamped both. Kudos to you. This is a Pro Top from, as you hopefully can see there, Witte. That's probably mispronounced too. If this looks familiar to you, it's because they actually do make a lot of screwdrivers and rebrand them. I think they do Cornwell. This one, I just really like the aesthetics of it, the black and the blue. This is sort of more of a true Mopar blue, which of course, black and blue, that's kind of one of my color schemes. This would match the Mopar tin perfect. I've really liked it in the limited time that I've had it. So, what we're going to do now is check this one out, and I must warn you, while yes, it is the oldest and the dorkiest looking one, I love it. I love it so much, I just assembled a cabinet with it. That's why the tip, which again, I don't know, I think you can see there. I thought this would have been like a coating. It very well could be, but it's kind of coming off. To be fair, I just, what did I run? Probably about 120, 150 screws into this cabinet I just built. And this again is from Felo. It's a 337. This is their Phillips number 2 100 millimeter shaft. It's got the hex bolster. Something that you may not know if you're looking for striking cap options and you think, well, it doesn't have a striking cap. It actually does. The tang runs all the way through the handle, and then this is, I believe, like a leather impregnated type of a design. But the bottom line is you can beat and bang on that because the tang goes through the entire shaft. So that's sort of an added perk that a lot of people probably overlook. I can't tell you what it is. Like, I had all these options, and when I went to put that together, I went for something that looks like it would have come from the 1940s. And I love it. I absolutely love it. It looks like I've worn a little bit off there maybe, and it's wooden handle tools like files over time, the more you use it, they just kind of fit your particular hand, your particular grip better and better. And this might be something that I pick up the full set of just because I love them. But, out of everything we have here, I have by far the most use with this one, and it is super impressive. Now, the screwdrivers that started this whole shebang are right here from Wiha. So, this is probably the most Texan way to go, but this is just some of their soft grips. This is not their fancy stuff, their top of the line. That's the cushion grip, their soft grip, the red with the black. As I mentioned with NWS, red isn't really my color, but blue and black, oh yes. So, these are their soft grips. It's slotted in Phillips mixed. It's a 5-piece set. We've got a 4.5 and a 6 slotted, and then we've got Phillips 0, 1, and 2. These have the hole in the handles. You can hang them. You can put them in pegboard. You can put them in that Vera stand that we got for like $2. But these feature a dual material molded handle with soft grip panels for more power. So, what I want to do here is, and the reason that I got this set and didn't just bring in one, it's what initially drew me to this entire crazy endeavor I wound up going on. But I really like these, and they may wind up being my favorites regardless, which is interesting because it would have been the first ones I picked. But there you kind of see it. They're the ProTurn 3K. This one again is Phillips 2. 100 millimeters or 4-inch shaft. It's got a pretty good, pretty nice feeling tip. I did use these too. I opened this up at work. I was super excited, and fittingly I had to go build a panel. And this one you can't tell. They're only like what, 8, 12 to 16. I can't remember if it had a cutoff or not, but I really like it. It feels, it's a very big bottom end, if you will, and that fits my hand quite nicely. So this was a 5-piece set, and again, a lot of times you'll find in this stuff with the one screwdriver price, you know, like say once you get to around $15, if you spend like 10 more, you can get a really nice set. And that's kind of where we are at with those. But man, I really like them. Now this, when I came in and I was searching for Wiha stuff, right, I wondered, hey, how did you wind up with all that Gedore crud? Well, this is how. On KC Tool, this was, I don't think it was the tool of the day, but it was like the first thing I saw as I type in screwdriver. This is a striking cap set. It was typically priced really high. I'm thinking like around 100 or more, and it was on for $49. And I thought, you know, I nearly bought this channel lock set, which I held off because it wasn't American made. They're striking cap code blue. It's China. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give these a go. So this is the Gedore, or Gedore, however you pronounce it again. Power Grip 3. These have hexagonal bolsters, which means you can basically spin them with a wrench. It's end to end, obviously, because they're striking cap, which again is indicated here by the hammer, which, let's face it, you do that anyway, but this is designed for that, and you're not going to break and maul your handles anymore. It's ergonomic, it's got info print, and it's 3K component. I love these things, man. Haven't gotten to use them a ton, but as you might have been suspecting, I couldn't restrain myself, and I used one of them. Cool thing on these, one, they look so different than everything else on the market, in my opinion. You can see there they've got the 2160 SK, Phillips number 2. There is the striking cap as we spin that around. It's a nice blunt surface. You're not going to have trouble hitting that. We've got the hex bolster if you need to put some torque on it. The tips seem really well done. Not quite as nice as that Felo origami. That is seriously the best looking tip I have ever seen. Interestingly enough, that was not mimicked on their wooden handle one. I will see what I think of that Felo one. But these, they kind of look weird, like compared to everything else we've been seeing. Seems to me, in my limited research on German screwdrivers, I would have to say that Vera, that seems like the go-to for the vast majority of people. And as weird as this looks, as different as it is from your old acetate handles, as different as it is from Craftsman's, Klein cushion grips, everything you've just seen, I like it, and it feels really well. I think I used the slotted one, and it showed no signs of wear. It was just a freak deal, another panel. which I still had the box where I think it was just like 8 screws. But I really, especially in that situation, because I needed the length, and so instead of being down here where my hand would be running into sheet metal and getting cut, I'm back here on the back end, and I was able to just turn it where there's kind of like the finger grooves. But I really do like the feel of these, and for the price, I felt like I could not go wrong. So that was my first ever purchase from KC Tool. Pretty happy with it. In addition to that, I got a t-shirt, which I'm not sure. I thought the threshold must have been $100. About 2 weeks after I ordered these, I was so impressed with everything, I ordered again. Clipped $100, but I didn't get the t-shirt. So they do include some stickers for you if you're into that sort of a thing. It doesn't seem to really be specific to what you order, I don't think. But we got KC Tool. We got... I still want to say it's Knipex, but I know that's wrong. There's actually a video. Somebody made it. Who made it? Dude with it really good. I think the black dude, Garnet Tools. He's got a really cool voice in my opinion, but I think he actually researched it, and even like the CEOs on the American side and everything were all pronouncing it differently. Knipex, you know, people say that there's not the in it, so Knipex, I don't know. To me, if I just had to guess, my first instinct would have been Knipex, because I take knife and pex, and that's what you get. But very cool nonetheless. We got our Felo sticker here. We got the Wiha, and we got this Wiha as well. And then, of course, with every order, they send out a little business card and a bit of things. I'm trying to remember. Is it Wiha bits, I believe? Let me take a look here. It's always, I believe, a number 2. That's at least what I've gotten both times. Kind of be cool if they had like oddball ones and they did different sets. Yeah, this is a Felo bit, and it's got... You're not going to be able to see it. I don't want to take the time. But KC Tool is stamped there, and then Felo on this side. This does not have as cool of a head as this Ergon. I can't tell you how awesome this thing is. I am going to attempt one last time here. Okay, that's the best we've ever been. You really can't see it, but good lord, this tip is amazing. I've never seen anything like it. It feels amazing, and outside of the handle kind of getting like dusted up for the limited time I used it, I can't wait to see how this thing pans out. But that's it. This was the haul. This is my first ever experience with KC Tool. It was a pretty good one, and again, I got a t-shirt, which I've got in the house right now. Some of this stuff we may unbox, do like a better video on. I don't know if there's anything in particular that you're curious about. Let me know. Obviously, my big thing is time constraints. In order for me to say, hey, this is the greatest screwdriver I've ever used, I need more time to use it. Just limited use to know that the tip is amazing, it looks cool, it feels amazing, and it gets kind of dusty. It's really weird. It feels amazing, but then like there's all this like gristle on it. It doesn't stick, like the wooden handle doesn't do that. This one from Witte doesn't do that. But anyway, the tip is so cool. You really need to see it in person. And you can pick this up for like under $10 anyway. So nonetheless, that is that, man. I've got this covered, so now I can feel better about using this stuff. And then that way when we come in and follow up, if that's the case, and it's dirty, you'll know what it looked like when it was new. So, as always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you back here for more action from the shop.